All right, let's do this thing. So this is what's about to happen. Over a few videos, I'm going to show you how to build a complete machine learning system from scratch. I'm going to go into every single nitty gritty detail of every single decision that I made to build this system. And I have two goals. Number one, I want to give you a template that you can use at your company, on your own work. And number two, I want you to understand everything that's going on. Now, let me tell you something before I make any more progress. Watching me build this system and understanding what I'm doing is probably 10% of the work. In order for you to fulfill the other 90%, you have to do the work yourself. So don't think just because you're going to watch these videos that now all of a sudden you mastered this. It's not going to work like that. You're going to forget 3 days later. You have to solve some assignments. You have to make changes to the code. You have to modify what I give you here. So you actually struggle, you actually get out of trouble, and you actually learn. That's the way you are going to ingrain all of this knowledge in your brain. So please don't stay with the videos, just go beyond that. Okay? Now, we're going to be using during this class 3 main libraries. So let me go to my computer here so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. So 3 main workhorses. We're going to be using more stuff, but these are the 3 main frameworks, platforms that we're going to be using. So number one, that's going to be Metaflow. Metaflow is used at Netflix. They created Metaflow. And Metaflow is going to help us orchestrate all of the pipelines that we're going to be building. We're going to be building a training pipeline, a deployment pipeline, a monitoring pipeline. We're going to do that with Metaflow. It's very, very easy. I'm going to show you in one of the coming sessions. I'm going to give you an introduction to Metaflow so you know how to learn it and you get the feel of it. Very easy to use. And it's great. The second library that we're going to be using is MLflow. Now, MLflow is going to serve 3 purposes for what we're building. Number one is going to help us track everything. So anything that we do in a pipeline, we're going to be using MLflow to track everything that's happening there. So that means we're going to be tracking experiments. We're going to be tracking different runs of our pipelines. Every single metric is going to go to MLflow. We're going to keep all of that there. The second role for MLflow is going to be wrapping our models. So when we finish training a model, we're going to get those weights and biases. We're going to wrap them using MLflow into a cohesive, working, running piece of software that we can later deploy anywhere. Okay. And number 3, MLflow is going to help us be a model registry so we can actually version different models. So when we train our model 3 times, we're going to have version 1, version 2, version 3. And anywhere in the world, we can just download a specific version and deploy that version. So you're going to see how that works, obviously. The third big library that we're going to be using is for observability purposes. That's going to be Evidently AI. So this is going to allow us to monitor our model. When we deploy our model, we want to make sure it runs and it keeps running the way it was running the first day that we deploy it. And we're going to be using Evidently to compute a bunch of metrics, run a bunch of tests, to detect data drift, to do all of that good stuff. Now, all of these 3 libraries are open source. And here is the beauty of what we're going to be building here. We are going to be building this once, and we're going to be deploying it everywhere. So that means that you can take all of this stuff and deploy it on a server running in your basement, and it's going to work. But you can also take all of this stuff and deploy it in AWS or Azure or Google or anywhere in the world. Any cloud platform is going to run this code here or can run this code here. And that's one of the beauties of using open source tools, that you're not tied to any particular platform. That is what we're going to be building here. Now, in this video, I want to show you how to get started there are two ways to get started, the easy way and the hard way, okay? So the easy way is you're gonna click a button, you're gonna be running in no time. The hard way is when you actually want to put all of this on your computer. And I say the hard way just because it's a little bit harder than just clicking a button. But all of the instructions here, you are going to find, if I go back to my computer, in the GitHub repo of the project. Okay, so you're gonna see the repo here is public, and the README file contains all of the instructions that you're gonna need to follow in order to run. I keep looking at the wrong camera here for some reason. So all of the instructions that you need to follow are gonna be here in this repo. Okay, so anytime you don't know how to do something, come back to this README file. It's a long README file, but that's okay. And you're gonna see how to do things here. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to get started with Project IDX. Now, Project IDX is something that's new from Google. So here is the beauty of it. We're gonna click this Opening IDX button, and you're gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna click here, and this is what you're gonna do just to get started really, really quick, okay? You're gonna see this page that is going to allow you to create a new workspace. You're gonna see that it says, hey, the template is Building Machine Learning Systems. That's our class. Name your workspace. Just create a name for it. I'm gonna call it ML School. You can create a name for it, whatever name you want. And this is asking you for AWS access key, secret access key, and region. You don't have to specify those. Unfortunately, right now, when you create a template in Project IDX, I did not have a way to make those three fields optional. I'm working with Google on that. They are making a fix for this, but in the meantime, just type something there, just so it enables the create button. If you do have that information, the access key, the secret access key, and the region, you can specify that. That's gonna save you some time later, but you don't have to at the beginning in order to run the project. So I wouldn't worry about those. You're gonna click on the create button. If it tells you that, if it gives you an error, just try again. Sometimes it does that. Again, this is a very brand new project, but it's super, super cool. This is what's happening right now. Google is creating an instance in the cloud, some computing hardware in the cloud, and it's going to install our project. So everything that you saw on our repo is gonna get installed there. And not only that, but I prepared an environment. So all of the installation instructions that are in the README file are gonna be done inside this environment. So when this finishes, it's gonna take about a minute to finish. When this finishes, you're gonna have everything you need to run this project in the cloud. You don't even need to have a good computer to do that because nothing is running on your computer. So you are not installing libraries on your computer. You're not running servers on your computer. All of that is happening in the cloud. So this is beautiful to get people up and running really, really quick, okay? So it's loading right now. You can see the project here on my left, all of the tree. It's still not done. Now it's going to install the environment. As you can see, it's running a bunch of stuff here. Let's just wait for it to finish. See, it's now installing all of my library. So just grab a coffee really quick. It's probably gonna take about a minute or two to finish. But when it's done, you're gonna have an MLflow server running in this instance. You're gonna have all of your code ready to go. So I'm gonna going forward, I'm gonna try to follow all of the instructions and run all of the pieces that we need to run from inside IDX, so all of you can follow along. There's gonna be a second video where I'm going to do this installation on your computer. So in the second video, the video coming after this one here, I'm not gonna be using IDX. So if you want to run all of the libraries on your local computer, you can follow the instructions on that video. Those instructions are in the README file, but I'm gonna show you how to do them. I'm gonna go piece by piece so you understand what's happening right here, okay? But just know that just by clicking on the project and the Open IDX button in IDX, you're gonna get this. All of the source code is right here. So you see this pipelines folder. most of the code that we're going to be reviewing during this code walkthrough course is going to be right here. Like, for example, this here is going to be the training pipeline. By the way, what you're looking at here is just a Visual Studio Code, the same IDE, just running in the cloud. So if you're familiar with Visual Studio Code, you're going to be good to go. Let me just open the code here. So this is the training pipeline is running right here. So the same shortcuts, everything that you know from Visual Studio Code, you're going to be able to get here in Project IDX. So why did I do this? Or one of the reasons that I did this is because in previous cohorts, everyone brings a different computer. Everyone has different specifications, different operating systems. And one of the major challenges is getting people to, getting people past some of those installation errors that happened because I couldn't foresee them. So something doesn't run in their system and we have to troubleshoot and whatnot. If that's happening to you, please use IDX and get over with it. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. If not, I'll see you in the next video. So I have a few notes here that I want to cover before we finish this particular video. So we already talked about the README file. Again, here, this README file contains the instructions to run everything. In IDX, the initial installation is going to be done. But if you want to go into deploying this in AWS or deploying it into Azure, you're still going to have to follow more instructions. At the time of monitoring the model, how to run a pipeline and whatnot, all of those instructions are going to be here. You can just click like training the model, you click there, and you're going to see all of the commands that you have to run. Okay, so we're going to see that. Okay, we talked about the three libraries that were the main three libraries. We talked about the ability to run all of this in AWS, in the cloud. Those are going to be really fun sessions because you get to deploy this at scale, which is awesome. And I think that's it. So let me show you here inside IDX a couple of things. So here next to my terminal, I have all of these sessions here. And as you can see, those are commands that I ran when I configured IDX. And one of them is the MLflow server. You can see it here. And notice that, let me just close this, or at least put it smaller. You can see that I have an MLflow server here running locally on IDX. Now, if you go to this menu, this Project IDX icon here on my left, you click there and you scroll down, there's going to be something that's called backend ports. Do you see that? So if you click on backend ports, this is going to show you, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. This is going to show you the port number that's running locally, okay, and the process ID, and it's going to give you a couple of options. One of them is just to copy this to the clipboard. Another one is to open a website, okay? So we have MLflow running locally in this instance in the cloud, in this computing environment. By the way, this is free. Did I mention that? This is free. You can use this, it's free. So MLflow is running on port 5000 here. So if you want to open the MLflow UI on your computer, you only need to click this button. So you click this button here, it's going to say, hey, do you want to open an external website? You click open, and this is going to connect to our instance in the cloud, and it's going to open MLflow's UI here in the cloud. So this is MLflow's UI. There is nothing here because this is a brand new server, but you're going to see how to fill it up as soon as we start running pipelines, okay? So that will be the way it works. Anything that we open here that opens a port is going to create automatically, it's going to create a mapping right here, and you click that button, and that's going to open in the website on your computer. Okay, so hopefully this gives you enough information to just get this done. As soon as you finish this video, again, just take a look at the code. You don't have to run anything. You don't have to do anything. You can just move to the second video, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.